Hi everybody, good morning students. So today in science class, we are going to work with how are plants grouped, okay? Today, this is the topic of today. So please don't forget to write the topic on your notebook and the day and highlight it with color red. Here we go. Pay a lot of attention. So over there, as you can see, we had grouping plants. So I have these questions for you. What kind of plants do you have at home? So you can check and see what kind of plants, maybe cactus, flower, roses, maybe a tree. So also mentioned some plants that had seeds. There is any plant in your house that has seeds? Well, let's find out how these we can group in these plants. So as you know, plants grow in many different places. However, all plants are alike in one way. Why? Because they are alike in one way. Because these plants, what they need to grow, well, they need water, they need sunlight for energy to produce sugar and growth, and also they need soil, they need air, they need a lot of things to grow. Let's continue with the next. In here we have, let's learn about the different kind of plants. There are two groups of plants. All plants in one group are similar in some ways, and they're also different from plants in another groups. As you can see, we have these definitions that we need to write in our notebook, okay? So we have reproduce, to make more of the same kind. Then we have classify, to sort into groups based on a similarities and difference, okay? So we need to learn to classify the plants, and we need to see which one reproduce, that they make more of the same kind of plant. Then we had conifer, that they are the plant that make seeds inside cones. So, well, this picture that you can see in here, sorry guys, that you can see in here, they can show you that there are some of those trees that they have a seed inside the cones. But also there are other kind of plants, like with this, the last definition, that is spore, that they have a tiny cell that can grow into a new plant. So it means that one group of plant makes seeds and plants in other group do not make seeds. So we're gonna check some pictures over there, also images that I just add in this PowerPoint for you. So here we go. So what are the difference between these two groups? Well, we have plants that make seeds and plants that do not make seeds, okay? So this group can be sorted in two groups. Plants in one group have flowers. Plants in the other group do not have flowers. So over there, I show you some of them, like a sunflower, as you know, into the bottom, this brown part that sometimes, or orange part that we see in this flower, they had the seeds inside. Then we had the pine trees, like this one. The pine trees, they have seeds, but the pine trees, they didn't make flowers. And then we had fruit trees, like apples, mangoes, nances. Here in our country, in Honduras, tamarind, or oranges, all of them, those fruit trees, they had flowers. The first thing that they had the seed, and they make a flower, and then this flower became in a fruit. So these plants are plants that make seeds. But then what about this one? Do you know what is this? Well, if you don't know, it is a fern. Okay, at fern, so do you think it's plants that do not make seeds or make seeds? Let's see. So these plants belong to another large group of plants that reproduce in similar way, okay? Fern and mosses. What it means that ferns belong to plants that don't make seeds, okay? So This little leaf can reproduce another leaves, okay? So they don't make seeds, but they can reproduce themselves. Also, in the other side, we had the mosses. Mosses, we can find it in rocks and walks and around trees. So over there, this is another kind of plants that they don't make seed, but they reproduce themselves. Well, as you can see, a cactus, it has flower. What it means that is a plant that makes seeds and it has a flower. It's completely different from pine trees that they do not make flowers. So I have a couple of questions for you. You don't need to write, okay? So this is a quiz oral time. So question one, what kind of plant makes seeds? If you know that, you can label that and make a draw on it. Number two, what kind of plants do not make seeds? So do you know any answer about it? And how do plants that don't make seed reproduce themselves? So I'm going to tell you the answers, okay? What kind of plant makes seeds? Well, flower that contain flowers and do not make flowers, like pine trees, like fruit trees, roses, cactus, and plants that don't make seed. So easy, fern and moses. And how the plants do not make seeds and seed produce? Well, they're the spores plants that they make tiny cells in their leaves. Okay, so guys, thank you so much. See you next class.